Yes, yes. What's going on, guys? My name is David Tranzcendent, and this is Entrepreneurs of Connecticut, where I sit and interview entrepreneurs of Connecticut. I started this podcast 5 6 years ago. I took a little break, the pandemic and a few other things happened, and I haven't done it in 5 years. And I'm super excited to be back with Entrepreneurs of Connecticut, and I'm super excited to be back with Luti. Luti is a good friend, someone who I've known for a long time. Amazing spirit. Is amazing dancer, amazing person. And I'm excited to share her story with you while I also get to indulge in it myself because I know her, but there's more that I want to know. And so I'm excited because not only do I get to know more of her, but I get to do it with you guys coming for the ride. So please, if you're watching on YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, wherever you're at, if you're on Facebook, please make sure you leave a comment and let me know what's going on. If you have a question, please let us know, guys. Listen, without further ado, let's go ahead and get this started. Luti, what's going on?
Hey, what's up? Hey guys, what's
Listen,
happening?
I am excited, super happy to have you here. Sorry to have you waiting, but I wanted to make sure everything was good because I want to make sure that the most people possible get to see this great interview that we're about to have. This great conversation because really, like I told you earlier, I just want to just converse, right? Just talk and get to know each other a little better. And for the people not only in Connecticut but wherever you're listening. By the way, if you're not in Connecticut, if you're somewhere other than Connecticut, let me know where you're at, right? But I want people to know who you are because you're an amazing person. I think more people should be like you. More people should be following their dreams. More people should be so kind like you are. More people should be involved with the kids the way you are. More people should be out there and courageous the way that you are. But anyways, what's going on? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to give you and a bunch of others some insight on what's going on and what's new.
No, of course, of course. I think that we're gonna get to it soon. But I'm loving the shirt. I'm loving the dance. What does it say? It says dance. I can't really read it too well.
Lutisha's dance company.
Dance company, and that's the name of the business, guys. Listen, if you're on Facebook right now, make sure that you go follow Lutisha's dance company on Facebook. And do you have a separate
I don't have
Instagram
a
account as well?
Facebook, but I do have a Instagram page for my
Instagram.
dance company. Yep.
Got it, got it, got it, got it. Yeah. So, guys, if you're on Instagram right now, or if you're not, please make sure that you go over and check it out. Definitely. I think it's something that as she starts to post pictures and videos, we're gonna really love what she's doing over there. Um, Luti, tell us a little bit about where you're from. Where's Luti
Okay.
from?
I'm from Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Okay, okay.
Surprise, surprise. No, born and raised in Bridgeport, Connecticut, and actually, I'm really proud of it. So there's no hiding where I'm from. I went to Beardsley School. I went to Marin for high school. I went to Harding. So I was a bit everywhere.
Yes.
Um, and
Were were,
and
were you were you moving around, or were you able to stay
so that's where I was going. That's where I was
Okay,
going. It's again, I went to a bunch of these schools because I was moving around a lot, but always in Bridgeport. But
yeah,
as an adult, it actually now benefits me, right? Because
okay.
now I know a little bit about each side of Bridgeport, which is helpful, and I know a lot of people now. So again, now I can use it to my advantage.
Of course, of course. No, listen, I get it, and I'm with you 100%. We moved all over the place. It was a struggle, quite literally, right?
Right.
East side, west side, north end, homeless shelters. I mean, the whole thing, right? And for me, I think at the time I didn't like it because I didn't really get to build those bonds, right? Those best friends since like kindergarten. I didn't get to have those things.
Mhm.
But then, like you said, now as I look back at it, I'm like, oh my God, I was able to kind of get around a little more, meet even more people. And I think it helped me become the person that I am today. So I definitely agree with you.
Yeah, 100%. That I try to take out the positive in everything.
Of course.
And you're right. You mentioned something that I'm always mentioning is that I can't tell you that I have a friend from kindergarten or I have a friend from second grade and I've been their friend since then. I can't tell you that because it's never been a stable childhood, but also like in my teens, it wasn't very stable. So I just don't have that with everyone. I have a friend that I met, once I was out of high school, and I met them through church, and we've been friends for like 15, 18 years, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And that's my, most stable friendship. But if we're completely honest, I can't tell you I have friends that I can go back to and say, "Oh my god, I've been friends with this person since first grade."
yeah.
I just don't have that.
So
So
so no, I get it 100%. So I a lot of people don't know this, but I known you since I was younger too, through some kind of, some kind of stuff that was going on with the adults in our life, right? Like they knew each other, and so we kind of knew each other a little bit, right? And so when I saw you later on, I was like, oh man, I kind of remember her, but I kind of don't, whatever. And it was, again, it's one of those things where all those different stops, kind of like we met each other when we were younger, and then we kind of separated for years, and then we met each other again as adults. So I get it 100%. Now I feel like you mentioned a little bit about church. Did you grow up in church?
so I didn't I can tell you that I started going to church maybe at 10, 11 years old, and I was introduced to Pentecostal church
Okay.
by my mom, actually. So, that played a really big role in my life, as well as my dance life. So
Okay.
that'll be a funny story I'll be able to tell you guys too.
Okay, okay, okay. No, I listen. I get it. I think a lot of us in our younger years, kind of dabbled in that Pentecostal church. For me, it was more so because I have a cousin who was raised in the Pentecostal church, and his mother, my aunt, may she rest in peace. She was super Pentecostal, so much so that in order for me to hang out with him, I had to go to church with them, like that. Like it was like we had to make a deal. You know what I mean? So that's how I got involved with that kind of stuff.
That's
So
that I get it.
so you're an amazing dancer and dance instructor. When did dance come into your life?
So dance has always, I've been told from, my family members, dance has always been like something that's just been a part of me. They say I was one, I was two, I was three. They would just play music and I would just go. I would just go. I didn't care who was around. I wasn't afraid. I wasn't shy. I would just go, go, go. But I think the moment that I came to the realization that dance was something I loved, and this is again funny, because now I'm coordinating for the Puerto Rican parade. But I think that that's where I truly found my love for it, because there's a section that in that pageant that you have to do a talent. And I remember I was 7, and my mom said, okay, it has to be a Puerto Rican singer, you have to dance, this is what you love to do. I remember it being an Olga Tañón song.
Okay,
And
a little merengue.
and my mom was teaching me little steps, whatever. The day came, and trust me, I didn't remember all of those steps, but I did my own thing up there. And I remember how much I loved the feeling of having an audience love what I was doing.
Oh, so like the maybe not the attention, but just kind of, I don't know what you call it, but just the
I want to
acknowledgement.
say, you know what? You get a certain feeling of it's almost like a fulfilling moment, right? Like
Yes.
you are an entertainer and you are being successful at entertaining these people. So I remember winning the talent portion, and I was like, oh my God, I really love this. And by the end of the pageant, a bunch of the judges came up to my mom and they're like, you know what? She's a star. She's really good. You have to keep her in this. And I'm sitting here, I'm dabbling it all up. I'm 7 years old. People think I'm so cool. So I'm like,
I
you know
love it. I
what?
love it.
I'm good at this. This is something I'm good at. So from that moment, my mom actually decided to put me in dance classes. And so I started taking salsa at the age of 7. So literally right after that pageant, my mom just took action and she's like, hey, listen, like, this girl has something here. She has something.
That's
and
awesome.
and to be honest, I knew from the second I started, like, how much I loved it. I was like, oh my God. You think that these 7, these 8-year olds, they don't really comprehend. They do. When they say, I really like something, believe them. And truly, truly give them the opportunity. I
Yes.
always say, like, I'm super thankful that my mom did listen, that she did see that there was a spark there. And
Yes.
and I always say this to all the parents, like, if you see a spark in your child and they love what they do or they show interest in what they do and they take it seriously, you're golden. You are golden because all a kid truly needs is for someone to believe in them.
Yes.
All it takes.
No, I
And the
love
world
that.
will change.
No, listen, I get it 100%. I think that we're getting, and we're not there yet, but I think we're getting to a place in society where we are starting to allow our children to be themselves rather than having our children be a replica of us, right? Or having our children be what we couldn't be, right? And I
Right.
think like for me, I'm a brand new father, right? I have a 7 month old daughter, right? Um,
Congrats.
Thank you. And I'm 39, right? I'm about to be 40 soon, right? And and uh and although I'm older to be a brand new, father, I'm happy that I waited that long because at a younger age, my thought was always I want to give my kids everything that I didn't have. Because that's what we want to do, right? But then when you really think about it, it's like, no, 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 we don't want to do that because if you give them everything, then they're not gonna learn what life is about. And they're not gonna understand that the
Mhm.
value of a dollar and the value of fighting and working hard for the things that you want, right? And so
100%.
and also I think that me being older, I also understand the importance of listening to the kids, right? And I don't mean listening to what they're saying, but listening to their actions, watching them and understanding what they're doing and understanding that they're their own little person and that they have their own like goals and dreams that they want as well, and that they're not yours, and that they can accomplish almost anything that they want, even the things that you couldn't accomplish. And too often, because we want to protect them, we're like, no, no, yo no pude, I couldn't, so I'm not gonna let you fail because I don't want you to fail. But it's like, no, no, let them fail.
Right.
So I get like where you're coming from, 100%. Now, tell me, your mother, which by the way I love, um, is she a dancer? Like I'm sure she dances, but is she like a dancer? Like did she like take lessons or she just like a natural like whatever?
Listen, my mom did not go to school for dance. However, she was born in the 70s, so
Yes.
I heard stories, back in the days,
Your mom is young.
no one fist fought. Everyone was, let's battle, let's battle. So I hear all of those stories. And it's funny because my dad has 2 left feet. He's olvídate de eso que I didn't get the talent from there. Um, but yeah, I mean, from my mom is a good dancer. She's a good dancer, but
I'm
she
sure
did
she
not
is.
go to school for any dancing. It
Yeah.
came, whatever came naturally. Freestyle is her thing, all that good stuff.
So what would you say when it comes to you and your skills and a lot of the people who may be watching right now, who have seen you, whether it's on TikTok, wherever. By the way, your TikTok, that was I don't know what's going on, but your TikTok was like blowing up during the pandemic. I was like, yo, she's doing her thing over there. But as I see you dance and move and the passion and which you do it, right? If you could give me a percentage, how much would you say what percentage is passion and what percentage is like the skill of what you learn, in the classes that you've taken throughout the years?
That's an excellent question. All right, so I'm going to be completely blunt here. Um, I can honestly tell you when it comes to skill, when it comes to training, I did all that through high school. And
Okay.
then I did all that, even before high school. After high school, there was really no training. I went straight to instructing. So when it comes to the way I dance, right? My specific style
Yeah.
is, it comes from passion. It comes from within. I feel what I'm doing, right? I didn't just go take a class, take what I've learned, and now I'm just gonna, show you. No, I think that, and if you guys are watching and you guys agree, honestly, I feel like when I'm dancing, there's never a difference between when I'm performing and when I am social dancing. I'm
Ooh, I love that.
constantly giving it me, right? So my level, there's no change, right? There's, when you see me at, back in the days, it was Tiago's for me. Whenever you seen me at Tiago's, it was the same thing you were going to see whenever you went to an annual show, right? I'm always giving it my all because that's what I feel, right? When
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
dancing, I feel the music, I feel the rhythm. I'm, into whatever partner I'm in. We're living that moment. I'm not giving you more or less because I'm in a club versus performing.
Love it.
So
I love it. I love
I
it.
want to say it's more passion than it is technique.
Do does a young lady or young boy, young man, do they have to feel it inside of them in order for it to actually come out? And before you answer that question, I'm gonna tell you why I'm asking that question, right? So I have a niece, and I'm sure you know who she is. I have a niece who used to take dance classes at Latin Rhythm years ago, right?
Mhm.
Um, and she was there for a long time. She was there for many years. She grew up there and whatever, right? Beautiful young lady. She's about to be 21 soon. It's incredible. It's crazy, right? And I went to all her recitals and whatever. And I remember one time giving her advice. And my advice, and I don't know if I gave her the right advice or not, but what I said to her, I said, baby, I love it. You're doing great. You're doing everything you're supposed to do. But I don't see that it's like that you feel the music. Like I don't know that you feeling the music. And my advice to you would be, I told her, listen to more music. Don't just dance and listen to more music so you can start to feel the music and understand the music, and that may or may not help how you move. Do you think that's good advice?
So all right.
Don't
So
kill me.
I think that that advice is okay to give, right? It's okay to give, but it's more profound than what words are very, right. We're on the line here, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like with anything, like some people dance because they enjoy it. It makes
Mhm.
them feel good. Some people dance because they live to dance.
Yes.
Right? So I would say that's me. Why do I say I live to dance? Because honestly, dance saved me, right?
Got it.
And so that's something that lives within me, right? A lot of people can't perform to that, to the expectation of, oh my god, you see that person on TV, I want to dance just like them. It can be in desire, right? But realistically, their passion is to be a mom, right? Or their
Mhm.
passion is to be a lawyer, or their, right? So sometimes these dancers are doing it because it's enjoyable, right? This is something they enjoy, it's another hobby.
Got
But
it.
some of these dancers do it because this is what they know, this is their life, this is what they live, this is what they've
Yes.
studied. You know what I mean? So it's hard to say that a specific dancer perhaps isn't feeling it. It's just, it's different, right?
Yeah.
There's, I started dance because I was like, holy shit, I love this, right?
Yeah.
This is me. I
Yeah.
finally, I was lucky. I found it at the age of 7,
Yes.
but sometimes it takes people forever.
Yes.
Sometimes they never find, right?
Yes.
What is your reason? I always ask that. What is your reason of being
Yes.
on this earth? What do you give? Right? What do
Love it.
you
I love
offer?
it. I love it. I love it.
And I
Yes.
think that it all breaks down to it being, again, the word passion is what it is. You're not going to
Yes.
really feel that if you don't live that.
I love it. No, I love it. I
Mm.
love it. I think no, I love it, and I agree with you 100%. For me, I think that the only thing I would change in your whole like monologue just now, the only thing I would change is the word "find." I would replace that with the word "discover." I just feel like I feel like what we are and our passion, everything you're talking about, is something that already lives inside of us. So we don't have to find it because it's not lost. We just have to discover it within us. And so as you try
Right.
different things, you run into that thing. Like me with this mic and talking to you, like I love this shit. Like I love it so much. Like I get chills just hearing your story. I love this stuff. And I discovered it. Like I got an opportunity to get behind a mic and I was like, oh my God, like this is it. Like I love this, you know? And so I get that 100% and I love it. Um I caught you said that dancing saved you. Can we get into that a little bit and how
Yeah.
dancing saved you?
Yeah, sure. It's funny with throughout the years I've become more comfortable with sharing this story. So here I am, super vulnerable. Um, Again, I started dance at the age of 7. So, at the age of 7, obviously, um, I had my parents there. You know what I mean? Like 100%. They wouldn't miss a beat. If I had a show, they were there. If I had a practice, they were there. If I needed a new costume, they were there. You know, I can honestly say that my the beginning of my dance life was incredibly impressive. I had a huge support system. So, growing up, not everything is a pretty picture, right? So, I'm going to paint this to you guys as clear as I can so you guys can get a full understanding of why I am the way I am and why I'm so passionate about what I'm doing now in my studio. So um I became a teen, right? So we're past 7. I was dancing without throughout all those years. My mom was present, and I want to speak briefly on my mom. And it's because my mom was a single parent. So she did get married, so I did have a stepdad, but the one that was, constantly there for me and was present at all times, especially when it came to, my dancing life and traveling and all this good stuff, it was my mom present. So she's the one who basically I'm going to focus on now. Um and then, like I told you guys, I became a teenager and I decided to go get into church, which is a beautiful thing. I don't take that from anyone. However, the church kind of drove me away from dance and from my passion and from what I loved, and it was an inner battle because I didn't understand if this talent was given to me by God. Why is it that the church is telling me um that it's worldly, right? It's we shouldn't do this. We shouldn't be a part of this life. And I truly didn't understand it. However, I did stop. I did stop performing. I did stop taking classes, etc., etc. Again, I reached an age where I decided, you know what? I miss what I feel is my purpose. So I said, God, I love you, but I'm sure that if you have given me this talent and these desires and this passion, it shouldn't go unseen or unknown. So I decided to get back into the dance life. And at this time I'm in high school, and
How much time went by from when you
I
stopped to you started again?
nah, so maybe 2.5 years.
Oh
Two and a
wow.
half
Okay.
years.
Okay.
Um And now I'm in high school and I got into this program, which is right here in Trumbull. It's called Regional Center for the Arts. It's a private art school where you would go to your school halftime. So I would take all my basic classes in high school. And then from high school, I would take a bus to this school and I would be there till 5:30 and I
Mm.
wouldn't get home till like 6. So why do I mention all of these things is because at the time I was in high school, um, I lost my mom, not by death, but I lost my mom to drug addiction. So God was gracious enough, and I can't say this enough, to give me the opportunity to have been accepted to a school and a program
Mm-hmm.
that allowed me in some of the most important years in a girl's life, right? We're talking 14 to 17, 18. I was in school from 7 to 5:30. When I came home at 6, I had to do homework. I was, right,
Mm-hmm.
constantly busy. And that doesn't take away from the pain, the hurt, the disappointment. In the beginning, it was like shameful.
Mm-hmm.
And sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
And it took a long time to, get over that hump
Yes.
where it was, I didn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't I didn't want anyone to know. Um and I wanted to, even though that my mom wasn't present,
Mm-hmm.
I still wanted her to be proud. So I never stopped anything, right? I continued to go to school, get the best of grades that I can possibly get,
Yes.
go to this regional center for the arts, which I'm so grateful for because I only dance salsa, right? I went to school for salsa, and this school offered ballet, offered jazz, offered world
Mm.
dance,
Okay.
right? So I
Yes.
can honestly tell you my background in dance now, I have a nice resume, but none of those things truly fulfill you, right? Because it's like, okay, so I'm being, my time, right, is being, how do I say this? So I'm not really thinking about what my reality is because I'm busy. But there were moments, many, many moments, where you drown.
Mm.
You drown because you're young and you need your mom. And she was not only my mom, she was my best friend.
Got it.
My mom taught me, you would be able to tell me anything you want on this earth, and it won't go anywhere else but me and you. You can tell a friend, and when that friend gets angry, it's going to be all over the place. And I believed her. I believed my mom. Why? Because my mom was supportive. Anything I needed, she was there. Even if she didn't have it, my mother made a way.
Mm-hmm.
She made it happen. How the hell? I
Yes.
don't know. She's an incredible mom.
Yes.
She, sadly, still to this day, she's struggling with that addiction. But all this to say, I graduated high school. I became an instructor in dance. All this pain, instead of turning it into anger and allowing myself to do things that a good percentage of the youth decides to do
Mm-hmm.
in this world, I used it to my advantage. And I'm not saying it was easy because it was not. It's extremely lonely. It's
Yes.
lonely, but she believed in me and she
Mm-hmm.
made me believe in me.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that's why I tell you, parents, all your kid needs to know is that you believe in them. That's all it takes. Just tell your kid, they maybe perhaps you don't necessarily think so, but let them know you have faith in them. It changes the world. It's tough. This whole process has not been easy. I'm 33. I still cry. It still hurts. But I didn't allow it to make me a percentage of what Bridgeport youth or Bridgeport adults have decided to turn out to be because of their pain and because of their anger. I think we are more than what we come from, and it's sometimes hard to hear that. And it even becomes a topic where you may feel judged, but I'm not. I'm just letting you know that we all have a story and we make the decision,
Yes. No,
right?
no, no, most definitely, and I mean, obviously, I knew some of this already. I think from just knowing you, and I think just from I'm very observant, right? So I'm seeing what's going on, so I know a lot of this kind of already. But just hearing you tell it is that much more touching, and really makes me understand you a lot more, right? So when I see you and whatever you may share, or whatever you may do, it's almost like it's more understanding now. And I think the people in the comments definitely understand and definitely love you as well. I don't know if you've been seeing what I've been posting up, but there's definitely a lot of love for you. And that's amazing. Um, what
Thanks,
would
guys.
would you say that that perhaps because when this happened, when your mom started to get caught up a little bit, you were in your early teens, correct?
Yeah.
So those first 10, 11, 12, 13 years of your life kind of help build you to
Oh,
be
yeah.
able to withstand what kind of came, right? So it was like there was a storm coming, but the first 10, 11, 12 years of your life help you get strong enough, build that foundation so that when it came, you didn't fall over, and succumb to that the
Oh, well,
way the the
100%.
the
I
way the
mean,
way you're saying.
I may have, lost her at a tough age, but I am the woman I am because of the woman she was. My
Yes.
mom was on the dean's list, straight A student. She was a manager at every single job. My mom was a leading example. Leading, and maybe that's what hurts the most. That it doesn't matter how high you are, it can be anyone. So I'm grateful to have had those first years with her. 100%. If you see me, I am literally a product of my mother. She is a warrior. She is intelligent, but even intelligent people make funky decisions.
Mhm. Not only that, pero tú eres la misma cara de ella.
Oh God, everybody says it.
You are. I swear to God, I feel like the older you get, like the more like it's like more her. Like
God, it's true though. It's true.
no,
I look like
it's
my mama.
no, that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. Now I meant to ask you this earlier, but then we got into this. But do you have any siblings?
I do. I have a younger sister.
You do.
Um,
Okay.
mhm. Yep.
Is she like in hiding? Have the world ever seen her?
Um, my sister's hard to find. She has 3 kids,
Okay.
so she's on mommy mode at all times. But yeah, she doesn't come out often. But
Okay.
but yes, I have a sister, guys.
Is she a dancer like you, or are you and before you even answer that, because like I don't know if I have two brothers. I have an older brother and I have a younger brother. And me and my younger brother, we have a lot of things in common. But let me tell you, me and my older brother, we're almost like total, like, I mean, the total opposite. And I'm talking about same mother, same father, same household, same everything. But somos so different, it's crazy.
Yeah, no, we're different.
Okay.
We're super different. But but I mean, I wouldn't change anything because
Yeah.
I think, throughout the tough time, we really were each other's rocks. So
Yes.
I think that sometimes having that different opinion, having that different, sometimes you clash, but sometimes it works,
Yes.
right? Because you don't want someone constantly agreeing with you, agree, agree, agree. Sometimes we don't want to hear our truths, and you have
Yeah.
that person who tells you your truth.
Yeah.
And that's
No, no. I agree. We definitely do need that. I mean, yes men are, they're okay, but we don't need yes men. We need people that are gonna let us
right.
know, and definitely, and I feel like somebody like you, because of, we talked about this off camera before we got started, because of the courage that you demonstrate on a day-to-day basis, even telling the story. This is something that some people will never tell anybody, right? And so even you telling it, knowing that people are watching and you have no idea who's watching. Like right now, there's 26 people live right now. We have no idea who those people are, right? You can only assume, right? But we don't know who they are. And just to have the courage to do that, that's something that people look at and look up to, right? Um, and so I feel like again, having that person that has kind of the I guess the balls, right, to kind of say no, you're wrong, like no, don't do that, or that's not a good idea, right? And for you to have an open mind enough to not say, oh, tú no sabes nada, you don't know, for you to have the open mind to say, you know what, uh, I don't really agree with you, but let me think about it because you may be right, and you kind of sit on it and you're like, you know what, she was right. That was screwed up, but I did. I think that we need that. So for me to hear that, it makes me happy to know that you have that in your life because we need that. We need that in our life,
Oh yeah.
most definitely. Now, what do you call it? All right, so dancing coming up, purpose, whatever. Um, I feel like you didn't really say it, but I feel like what I kind of got from what you were saying was that you didn't take the route of like malas amistades, like crazy French or drugs yourself, or you didn't take that route because of the strength that was kind of built in you from your mom herself. Um, and you had the dancing to kind of fall back on, and that's what really helped you not get involved with the other stuff, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, don't get me wrong. I had my years of yes, no drugs, no drinking, none of that. I'm not still to this day. Yo voy a morir
Okay.
una vieja and none of those things. But I went out. I went out dancing Friday, Saturday, se me dejaban domingo, and I would dance every single song the DJ put on. And even if he's talking, I'm dancing. I had my moments um of that fun life. But yeah, no, I never really got mixed in with the wrong crowd. And I think that you know, again, from the amazing years of having my mom, and she always spoke to us, she always put that wisdom inside of us from a very young age. So you know,
Yeah.
when you're hanging around a crowd, and maybe there's a funky person or maybe two or three, and you kind of know and you kind of learn, okay, I'm going to take a step back from this because this is not who I am, right?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
that I don't feel comfortable with this. But sometimes, um actually a lot of the times, I see and I hear that a lot of people don't feel comfortable taking themselves out of a situation. And I
Yeah.
think that I have learned to master that, being very polite,
Yeah. Yeah.
being doing it in a professional manner,
I'm
but
out.
it's okay to not always
Yeah.
fit in. I don't always fit in. I know this. I know 100%. I know I have friends and they're like, "Listen, we love you, but you're like we can't because we don't feel comfortable doing what we do around you." And I'm like, "I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
okay with that."
Yeah. I think a lot of that is that gut feeling, man. And I talk about that all the time when I do my talks, when I tell people the importance of knowing yourself and the importance of really listening to yourself, right? And
Oh
so
yeah.
like too often we say, damn, I I had a feeling I should have done that, or I had a feeling I should, or I had a feeling. Whenever you got that feeling, that's your gut, that's your spirit talking to you.
Mhm.
Nobody knows you better than you. And so when you get that feeling, run because it's telling you like you need to go. And too often we're like, and then later on we're like, damn it, I should have listened to my, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think what you're doing, Luthi, is that you're just listening to yourself. You're like, no, this is not fitting well. I'm out. You know what I mean?
Right.
No, 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 most definitely. And I can again, I feel we have so many things in common because I was in crazy situations growing up. I mean, like, hey, we're gonna pop these pills. What's up? And I was like, I don't think that's a good idea. Like, you know what I mean? And so and they're, oh, it's only half, and I'm like, not even a quarter of it. I don't, you know what I mean? And that's nothing against them. It was just for me, something in me was like, nah, don't do that, bro. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm glad that I never like, I never went that way. And
100%.
I'm glad you never went that way either because the things that you're doing today, inspiring and motivating these young girls, would not be possible if not for you avoiding those things earlier on, and that helping you to where you are now. Um, I want to get to your dance company. I want to get there. I'm like I can't wait to get there. But before we get there, I want to talk about you a little bit more. You talked about salsa. You're seeing salsa. I love salsa. Salsa is my oh my god, I love it. But tú eres bachatera. Like I see you, tú eres
Love,
bachate. Like you know what I mean? I mean
love.
hip hop. I mean, so tell us, other than salsa, what else do you dance?
So again, in high school, I did the ballet, jazz. I did all that good stuff. But yes, like you mentioned, bachata is another dance that I have kind of adopted, right? Because I didn't take classes for it. I literally have never gone out and asked someone, how do you do this? It literally came to me. That sounds crazy, but all right. All right. Oh my God. I'm going to tell you guys this. So, as a kid, how pathetic. I'm so corny, guys. Why am I doing this? All right. So, as a kid, I remember going to the flea market with my grandmother, and the guy was selling CDs. Come on, y'all. Y'all know back in the day, the CDs. So my grandmother's like, oh, okay, yo voy a coger una. She goes, I'm going to get one. Go ahead. Embarrassing. So the first album that I choose is Monchi y
Yeah,
Alexandra.
Alexandra.
My next album that I choose is Khalees, My Milkshake.
Oh.
So needless to say, when I got home, I got smacked up because what am I doing getting this album?
Yeah.
But they did leave me with Monchi and Alexandra. And I didn't know as a kid how much I was going to love bachata. I knew I liked it back then. And it was like cool because it was like easy. I could pick it up on my own.
Yeah.
And then bachata just started like blowing up in the salsa world.
Yes.
So I'm like, oh my God, I feel comfortable with this. I love this. Like, I love salsa, but
Yes.
salsa is very technical. If you don't go to a school to learn salsa, picking
Hmm.
it up on your own, the chances are very slim. You have
Yes.
to be Puerto Rican or just black.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But bachata, on the other hand, was something that I saw super easy until I started visualizing these professionals and they're doing all
Yeah.
this great footwork. And honestly, it's something that comes with musicality.
Yes.
So I would hear the music and I would feel the beat, and I'm like, okay, I love this. And to this
Yes.
day, people
Yes.
ask me, like, you grew up dancing salsa. I'm like, yes, but when I dance bachata, I just feel something. I do. So salsa bachata, another dance that I have incorporated myself really is I've danced all these dances and I decided, you know what? Why not? Why can't I incorporate all these styles into one? So I
Yes.
did. And
And
I
that
started calling it Latin
that
fusion.
fusion. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That I knew you were going there.
Yeah, so that's a mixture of like contemporary jazz, salsa, hip
Love it.
hop. It has a
Yes.
little bit of everything, and that's kind of, I like to say that it feels more like home because
Yes.
I'm free to do whatever I want, and I'm never wrong.
Okay.
So when I'm choreographing, I'm never wrong. There's no specific right or wrong thing that I can do in this, and it's beautiful because it's unique to what everyone else does,
Yeah.
right? and
Yeah.
and and like everyone on this planet earth, we like to be different. And so I
Yes.
think that that's one thing that that I can say, you know what, it belongs to me. I love this. I love to
Yes.
create something that you're not going to see everywhere.
Yes. Yeah. No, I
Um,
love it. Let me tell you, there's two, and maybe you know some yourself. And you want to give them a shout out, give them a shout out. But there's two people that I know, um, that they were just born and they could just dance, and it makes me so mad when I see them because I'm like, bro, like I had to take lessons, like you know what I mean. One of them is probably watching is my brother Manny. My brother Manny, I don't know, man. He has. I'm not saying that he's super technical because he's not, but he has this rhythm about him when he dances that I'm like, bro, like, how do you have that? Like, where'd you get that
it's called
from?
passion.
Eh,
It just
I just,
comes.
I don't even know. And then one of my good friends, Tito, and you might know Tito, but there's a lot of Titos, but Tito hyphen, um, this guy, he's a rapper, reggaetonero, whatever. But man, he dances salsa, and man, like when he dances, I'm a hater, like 100%. I'm like, I'm looking, I'm like, yo, like I used to get so mad, like he dancing doing his thing, and I'm like, yo, how do you, whatever. And so they just got it, and I love it, I love it. The Latin fusion, have you found that with the little girls and maybe boys, tú me dices, I'm not sure. Have you found that being able to incorporate the Latin fusion into what you do with them helps them get into it a little more because maybe it's more fun? I don't know.
Mm, I don't know that they would get into it a little bit more. I think that for those kids that are looking to grow in dance, right, and pursue dance, a dance background, I think it helps them in that aspect.
Okay.
One, because everyone knows you can be whatever dancer you want, but if you don't have that technical ballet behind you, I hated ballet, but ballet made me 3 times the dancer that I am today. So I think that for those kids, Latin fusion, again, it's just a mixture of everything. So I personally like to say, if the kid does not enjoy dancing, it doesn't matter what they're dancing,
Hmm.
they're not gonna like it. So I I don't know that it would help them in any way unless they're looking to pursue dance further
Yeah.
in
Okay.
line.
Okay. No, no. And again, I remember years ago, teaching some girls, and some of the stuff that you guys were going over seemed like it was fun, right? Like just like flipping and like stuff like that, like on the mats and stuff like that, And I always thought, man, that's so smart of her to do that because now the kids get more into it because they're kids. They want to do that kind of stuff. They don't
Yeah.
they don't want the technical stuff right now. They want to have some fun, right? And so I feel like it
Mhm.
was a great way to kind of like introduce it to them.
Right.
And so that's kind of where that comes from. All right, so let's get to let's talk about let's talk about this dance company, man. This is what I want to talk about because I was so excited when I saw that you posted something back in October, November ish, saying that you were gonna you were opening this new business and you're inviting folks to bring their girls over, and it just like blew up. Like literally, people were like, "Yes, like I'm there." Like, it's almost like people were like waiting by their like they were like estaban así like on their phone and they're like waiting and they're like, "Oh, all right, let's go." And then they just like jumped at it, right? So tell me a little bit about the first. When did the idea come to your mind, and when do you decide to take it out of your mind and make it a reality?
Okay. So if you know me, you kind of know I'm I'm a little bit crazy, y'all. I'm a little bit crazy. I'm just gonna keep it 100%. So truth, I was teaching for another studio in Fairfield, and
Okay.
I had a back injury, and I had to take a break from dance for nearly 2 years. And at that point, I was very I was very depressed, like with myself. I'm like, oh my God, like I did this for so many years.
Hmm.
Yes, I work a 9 to 5, but that I know for sure that I'm not here on earth to work a 9 to 5, right?
Got it.
That is
Got it.
not
Got
my purpose. That is so I'm like, that is just a way for me to live
Yeah.
because let's be real. So, I started doing therapy. I started doing a whole bunch of things to help myself. I was seeing no progress. kept doing it anyway. I started seeing progress. So slowly but surely, I was introducing myself back into the salsa scene. I started going to like socials, and I started visiting a bunch of other new places and new people that in 2 years you would never think that the scene changes so fast, but it does. So I'm like, oh my God, I don't know anyone here. It was crazy. I knew but two people. And I was like, oh my God, like I've really missed out.
Yeah.
Whatever. You know, when I'm going to these socials, I'm getting people like, oh, do you teach, what do you, and I'm like, you know what, right now I'm not teaching. Slowly recovering from a back injury. And again, I say this and I roll my eyes because it sounds like an excuse, and it's like I could just see people like, she's lying, and I'm not lying, I swear to God.
Wait,
So
wait, wait, before you go any further, before we go any further, I
mhm,
want to just say that we got some proof. We actually have some proof in the comments that this is real, and I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you how. Right, and I think I may have something to do with this because I think at some point you posted on Facebook, "Hey, I'm looking for like a chiro, like somebody like somebody for massages," and
mhm.
I sent you a link and I said you need to hit up my boy Jason. And then
Yeah.
you were like, all right, I'm gonna hit him up. And then after that, like you guys like hit it off and it was great or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, 100%.
And so I'm gonna take credit for that. And then as you're talking about it, Jason comes on and this is him, this is him right here. I remember that back injury, right? So he remembers the injury.
See.
So the back injury was listen, the back injury was real, people. It was not fake, it's not a lie, it was real, and Jason just proved it. Just like oh
Well, he was actually taking classes with me when it
okay.
when it all went down. Yeah.
All
So
right,
it
go
was
ahead, go
real, not lying.
ahead.
So then you know what? I started going out and I had people asking me like, "Oh, you know what? Like, can we do privates?" And I'm like, "You know what? Privates seem safe, right? Like I can do it in the comfort of their home. I can do it in the comfort of my home." So I started doing that. And then I'm like, "Okay, there's a few." However, I had students from when I was teaching
Yes.
that were constantly like, "Hey, listen, like, are you coming back? Like, what's going on? Are we gonna?" And then, sorry. And then I'm like, I'm thinking about my whole life. I'm like, I took 2 years off. Are parents really gonna remember like all that? So I'm making all these excuses in my head as to why it's not gonna work, right?
Of
We
course.
all do this.
Of
We
course.
do this every day. So I'm like, all right, whatever. What happens? God works in crazy ways. So I have a friend named Brittany. She's a fitness coach, but she also has a background in dance. And she's like, hey, listen, um, back in the day, I remember you doing these ladies' heels classes and
Mm.
how crazy successful they were. And I'm like, oh my God, it's been so long. But yeah, and she's like, you know what? I want to do one. I want to do one and collaborate with you, and we'll do it at my studio, whatever, whatever. And I'm like, all right, great, let's set it up. It took us a while to get there, but eventually we got it and we did our class and it was great. It was such a good time. She's phenomenal. And it was there that me and her had a conversation and she's like, like what's holding you back? Like why are you not teaching anymore? What's going on? And we kind of got really deep into it and our stories were so similar like with parents
Mm.
and addiction and it was crazy and we were sobbing, literally sobbing, and she's like, you know what, she's like, I'm a complete stranger, but I support you and I believe in you and I always have. I've been a fan from the outside.
Mhm.
She's like, so I want you to know, like, whenever you need the space, whatever you and now, right now, my head starts moving because I'm like, oh my God, like every time I put an excuse and I shut the door, there's just another one opening, like, hello.
Uh-huh.
So that's where the idea grew from, and it just started brewing and brewing. And I was sitting there contemplating and honestly making excuses as to why things wouldn't work or why it wouldn't be successful. Until one day I was literally sitting in my bed and I was like, it is 6:30. I am bored out of my mind. I am in my bedroom. And I'm like, I can be doing something to change someone's life right now,
Mm,
like someone did for me,
mhm.
right? So I go, you know what? I'm just gonna put a flyer out there. I'm just gonna see what the interaction is. I just want to get a feel for where people are. Did you guys forget me? Have I been lost in translation? And I put the flyer out there, and I kid you not, it was like my phone was just blinking, blowing, and I'm like, I literally was like, oh my God, sometimes we're so afraid and we put so much self-doubt in ourselves that all it is time wasted. All that time, literally, Monday through Friday after work. Again, I don't do anything. I don't go out. I'm home. Time wasted. I could have been doing this for so long, right? Again, the opportunity I think arose at the perfect timing. I think that God knows what he's doing, and I think that
Yep.
I'm at an age where I can be professional at all times. And
Okay.
I can be that mentor for that child. And I can be the mom for the child. I can be the therapist. I can be the instructor. I can be a little bit of everything. And I think for everyone, because I've even set, after classes with my parents, and we'll sit there and we'll talk for like an hour. We're talking about their kid, right? And their
Yeah, yeah.
process. And all that time flew by, and I'm like, oh, I definitely didn't get paid for this hour, but I do,
Yeah.
and that's what I say, like, I don't do this to become rich. I honestly do this because I know that it will make a difference
Mm,
for those kids.
I love it. I love it so much.
I could charge an arm and a leg,
Mhm,
and I don't. I literally charge so that I can pay my rent for
mhm,
my space, so that I can pay myself for the hour.
mhm,
And after that, I have no interest, right? My interest is strictly one, it helps me,
mhm.
right? It helps me because I feel like I'm using my time to help someone else. Do you know how amazing it feels to work with 5-year-olds and then work with almost 18-year-olds? And after every single time those kids turn around, and even if I'm in another world because my classes start back to back to back, so I don't have time to really say goodbye to everyone, they make sure to come back and hug me, right? Like, hi, I'm here, thanks. You know what I'm saying? And that moment, that I don't know even how to put into words how much I feel in those moments, because to me it goes beyond gratitude, right?
Mhm.
It goes beyond all those things. I know that they're thankful. I know that they're happy. I know that they look up to me, but they don't know what they do for me, right? And I think that that's something that you don't get every single day. You don't get a teacher that changes your life every single day.
Mhm.
Sometimes you get a teacher that will straight tell you, I've had them, I'm here for a paycheck. I'm not here because I care. Oh, I've gotten that so many times in high school. And let me tell you, all that does is it makes the student rebellious, right? But when
Yes.
you show these kids, right, we're not here to play. We're here, I'm here to teach you, but I'm also compassionate with you. Right? We don't know what these kids go through at home, what they go through in school. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if I can give these kids a safe haven, I'm going to do that. Even if it's for 1 hour once a week,
Yes.
you
Yes.
know?
Yes. No, listen, I love it. I love it. I mean everything, and I'm sure the people who are watching. I mean, I love everything about it. There's just something special about really discovering, like I said earlier, discovering your purpose. Um, as I sit here before you and before everybody who's watching, this is like I love this, and I could do it for the rest of my life without getting paid, because just being able to talk to people like you and be able to hopefully, um, with you and with your help, hopefully help change somebody's life who's watching right now, to maybe open up, to maybe try something new, to maybe go discover their purpose. That's what I
Absolutely.
that's what I live for. Like I live for that. And so when you say that, you do it, but you're not looking for the money, that's where I'm at, man. And I think that if whoever's watching or whoever's listening, if you're in your car right now driving to work and listening to this podcast on Spotify, man, let me tell you, this could be you as well. This could be you, because all it takes is for you to keep doing different things until you discover that thing that you love, that thing que te para los pelos, that thing that gives you a goosebump that you love, and you'll be able to you'll be willing to do that for nothing, because it's what you love, it's your purpose, and we all have it. It's just a matter of taking the time to discover it, whether it's 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes a day. Try different things until you discover that purpose, because the feeling that Luti is talking about right now, it's the same feeling that I'm feeling right now. Is a feeling that's unlike any other feeling. The feeling of knowing that you discover your purpose and knowing that you will do it forever for free. I mean, I'm sitting right here, and I mean, everything. I'm producing everything. I'm doing everything. When we get out of here, I'm gonna go ahead and edit this. I'm gonna put it on YouTube. I'm gonna make the thumbnail. I'm gonna do whatever. I'm getting ready for next week's interview. I'm doing all this stuff that should be costing thousands of dollars for me to pay people to do. But I love it so much, because I this is what I love, and so I feel you 100%. Do we need the money? Yeah, oh, we need it, because I'm somewhere right now. But I got to pay. We got to pay. You know what I mean? So we need the money. But man, I tell you, when it's something that you love to do, I'm pretty sure you could stay here with me for another 2 hours talking about this, because it's what you love, you know. And so
Oh,
I just
100%.
I want to take this time to just those 28 people who are watching right now, and whoever's watching on YouTube tomorrow, or wherever you're at listening, please take some time out of your schedule. I know we're all busy, but take some time out of those 24 hours to start working on discovering your purpose. And then if you need help with that, hit me up. I will help you start to lead you in the right direction. I have an event this Saturday coming up. Shameless plug. I have an event this Saturday for free at the Bridgeport Library, on East Main Street, up there by Beardsley, the Beardsley branch. Come through. I'll talk to you there. Please start working on your purpose. It's so important. But let's get back to Luthi. All right. So all this happens, and then you finally take that step, and you're in there. Where does the name come from? Obviously, it's your name, but how does that come up?
Ugh. All right. So
Because
honestly,
I know that's like a pain in the butt. Like, oh my god, what am I gonna call it?
oh my
Whatever.
God, it's so stressful. Are you kidding? I was trying to find a name that had to do with the Latin world, right? And
Yes.
I'm like, oh my God, like what am I gonna, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna, and then I would make some names up and I'm like, oh, this sounds bad. This is corny. And I'm like, you know what? I said, this is gonna frustrate me. So we're gonna use my name. I said, I'm just gonna make it my dance company, right? Let's be simple, let's be direct. I think that my project will speak for itself,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Once it's all in there. And then it started off as a like all right, like let me just get a feel for it. So I went ahead and I made my own logo. And I'm like, all right, it doesn't look bad. I actually like it. So I went with it. I went with it and I never changed it. And I gave it like a month and a half, almost 2 months before I decided, to go and purchase an LLC. And I'm like, you know what? It's gonna stay that way. That's exactly what it needed to be named. Like, I'm not gonna push for it. I mean, don't get me wrong, would I have loved for it to have something Latin in the back? Yes, but here's my thought, guys. This is a secret that I have not shared. And my vision I never stopped dreaming. I never stopped dreaming. I always want more. I can honestly tell you, like, I am an ambitious person. Not that I'm never satisfied, but if I know that I can do more, I'm pushing for more, if that makes sense. So my goal is God hearing. I want I want something like what saved me, right? What saved me? That arts performing school,
Hmm.
right? So I want it to be versatile. Salsa's great. Bachata's great. Latin fusion's great, but let's be real. There's so much out there,
Hmm.
and there's so much talent in Connecticut, right? Let's just speak about Connecticut. All right, great. So your child dances ballet and she's a prima ballerina, right? My school's Latin, so you're not looking into my school. But one day I'm going to offer all these things,
Yes.
right? So that's the goal. Right now I'm working with myself, right? Because I told you guys I'm not looking to be rich, right? I'm doing this because it's something that I love, it's something that I enjoy.
Hmm.
The same way I give, I receive while doing this.
Yes.
So my thing is I have dreams and I have goals and I will get there, right? I just have to, be strict. But trust me, eventually it's going to grow and it's going to be something more. And maybe I don't have to work my 9 to 5.
No, and it'll get there. It'll come, man. I'm a firm believer in attracting, right? We attract what we want, and I think that doing what you're doing, you're attracting it, and it's only a matter of time. But it's just that it's time, and are you gonna have the patience to withstand that
Mhm.
time that it's gonna take? I think that's what it's all about. But I think that with the passion that you hold within you, and with the story that you have in terms of how it helped you, I think that time it would never be an issue for you. Sure, you may still at some point or another put kind of barriers in your own way, right? Because we kind of like have these limiting beliefs that we set on ourselves, right? Um, but I think that anytime you fall into one of those limiting beliefs, you just got to think back at what dancing did for you, and I think you'll come right out of it and keep going, and to the point where and to the day where you can leave the 9 to 5, and this will be your 9 to 5 per se.
Right.
Most definitely, most definitely. I love it. Before we get out of here, I mean, I don't want to get out of here. I'm chilling. I'm home. You're home. I'm chilling. Everybody's home. We're good. But before we get out of here, you reached out to me a couple of months ago, and you say, "Hey, Ed, I know you used to be involved with the Puerto Rican Parade of Fairfield County. Um, I want to get involved. I want to help. I want to help with the pageant. Something to that extent. I don't know what the exact words were, but you reached out, and it's funny because when you reached out, te lo juro por Dios, that I had just spoke to Mita Feliciano, the president. I had just spoke to her. I think it was that day or the day before. I swear, I talked to her at a festival in Stratford, and we were talking about it, about bringing it back. And I said, you know what? Let me see if I talk to some people that I know, whatever, whatever. And listen, como que Dios dijo, no, this is it right here, because I was gonna reach out to somebody else, right? I was, but then you reached out to me, and then I was like, oh, bet, and then I reached out to her, whatever, and it kind of happened. But and so now you're involved with that, and so talk to us a little bit about what you're doing with the Puerto Rican Parade of Fairfield County. Maybe some background on you and your involvement and what you're doing today.
Yeah. So, it's funny. If you guys were here from the very beginning of my story, I did mention that I realized that dance was my thing when I ran for Little Miss. And that was in 1998. So that year, funny, I did not win. Right? I did not win Little Miss, but I took every single trophy, every single one. So, we kind of gave it a break. The judges thought I was super cool. So to me, I won. It was great. But then I ran again in 2007 and I did take the crown.
Okay.
So again, it all goes back to like my roots of one being incredibly thankful for that experience, because I think that a lot of us don't realize doing community things like this, it makes every difference, especially when it comes to our culture, right? I feel like in school we aren't taught anything that has to do with our culture. I want to say even in our homes now, like our main language is always going to be English. Even if you live in a household where Spanish is your main in school you're learning English. And I've realized that I have all these Latino students, right?
Hmm.
And none of them speak Spanish. None of them know qué pueblo o qué ciudad they're from. They don't know if their parent was born here or if their parent was, right. So what I want to get to is I feel like it for educational purpose, it is almost our responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just not there. It's not there in the schools. It's not being taught at home anymore. You got to remember, like I want to say, not my generation, but the generation before, or even one before that. I'm talking about our grandparents, right? My grandmother, she only speaks English is if she's gonna curse you out. And if you follow me, then you know that about my Facebook. so
Yeah.
I was lucky to have that where I had no choice. I couldn't communicate with my grandmother if it wasn't in Spanish. And my mom would take me to Puerto Rico every year. Kids don't get that now. And I feel like they're being robbed of such a beautiful culture.
Hmm.
So it was something that I learned at a very young age, and that lucky for me, I was able to keep that culture. And just because you don't go visit Puerto Rico or you have no education on it doesn't mean that they don't want to know,
Hmm.
or that it can't be taught. So, I took it upon myself to reach out because for a very long time I had that inkling. Like, okay, what else can I do? Right. And I think that's just something that lives in me. I always want to help. I always want to offer, you know my talents or my wisdom. I always want to do something. I always want to do something more. And I reached out to you, and I'm like, you know what, like, even if it's just me doing the opening number, right? So I'm offering my dance experience,
Hmm.
and it turned out to be so much more, which I'm so grateful for, because it's a learning experience for the new team, because there's a new team for the
Hmm.
Puerto Rican Parade of Fairfield County, which is incredible because I think that we all get to start from scratch, and I think that we're all learning as we go, and I honestly believe that because we're all new, or maybe not new, but in the field that everyone is now taking, there are no bad habits, right? So I'm not going to learn anything that I shouldn't be learning, right? We're all going, and we're all flowing together. And honestly, I think that it's going incredible. The turnout that we've had is really nice. I think that between Camilia and I, which is also the other coordinator that's going to be working for the pageant portion, um, we're working from the bottom, and we are creating it our own. And it is new, it's scary, but I firmly believe that we got this. I think that we're fresh meat, we're innovative. We have incredible ideas, and we had people like you, and people like Milta, and people like Lisette who back us up. You know what I'm saying? And every time I go there, I learn something new.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's I just feel like, parents, it's you still have time. If your child is from the age of 5 to 18, get them in this pageant, right? Help them. They don't have to speak Spanish, right? And I think that a lot of people think that that's like a requirement. It's not. It's not a requirement. You know, Trust us. We are literally going to be giving your child a brand new experience. Brand new experience. And we are both winners from the past. And I think that because we are super excited, you can't lose. You
Hmm.
you can't lose. It's an experience that you just cannot lose. So I'm here for it. I'm excited. We got new things coming. Um, yeah.
Listen, just a few things. A few things. First of all, this is I don't know. This is yet another example of how your life has been one where you have been taught lessons before you have been rewarded, right? And so like you first run and you lose, but that made you strong for what was coming, right? So again, it's like the same thing repeating itself over and over again, where things happen to make you stronger, so then you can then hold on to whatever is coming. And I love that. I love that you're involved with the Puerto Rican Parade of Fairfield County. Guys, listen, I mentioned this earlier, like an hour ago, but I'm gonna mention it again now. If you haven't done so already, I interviewed Mita Feliciano last week or a little while ago. But the interview is available right now on my YouTube page. That's youtube.com/Eddie underscore Tranzcendent. Go check it out. She's talking about what's going on with the Puerto Rican Parade this year. A lot of great things happening over there. Please go check it out. And in the description of that particular video, you'll be able to find information on how you can get involved. So please, if you haven't done so already, go check it out now and see it. If you're watching this on YouTube right now, or if you're listening to this podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, wherever you're listening to this, go into the description and I'm going to have information on how you can contact Luti to get your kids in there before it's too late, okay? So Luti will give me the information after this. We'll put it in there. The information will be there. And you'll be able to contact her and get the kids in there. If not for this year, we can start the waiting list for next year, right? And so please, if you're watching this, if you can support, maybe you don't have kids that can come in, but maybe you can support in some way, shape, or form. Please, any help always is always welcome, right? Whether that's whether that's helping with the kids, whether that's just getting the word out, whether that's whatever it is. Any way that you can volunteer, because remember, the Puerto Rican Parade of Fairfield County is an all volunteer organization, right? Nobody's getting paid, and so if you have 5 minutes a week that you can give them, that would be amazing. And if you can give those 5 minutes to Luti and Camila over at with the pageant, that's amazing. Remember that this pageant is coming back. It was out for like a year or two, right? So they're coming back. They're coming back,
It's
bigger and stronger.
2019.
Exactly. So they're coming back bigger, stronger, and more beautiful than ever before. And what better than for you to be a part of it? So if you're listening to this, if you're watching this, please make sure that you make yourself part of it. Um, Send a comment, hit Luthi, hit me up. Check the description, whatever you have to do, but get involved because it's definitely a beautiful thing. And I look forward to seeing what you guys are doing over there at the PRPFC. Shout outs to Camila too. I know that she's part of the team. I don't want her to que se sienta like, yo, nobody's talking about her. Oh, what's going on? But shout out to everybody who's working hard at the PRPFC. It's good
Yeah.
stuff.
So
Look,
guys,
listen,
don't
go ahead.
we take boys and
Oh,
girls
okay. Hey,
five
let's go back.
5 to 17. 5 to 17.
Oh, you're talking about the dance studio, right? Yeah. So
Yes.
let's go
So
back.
let's go.
Okay. What I need you to do, what I need you guys to do is I need you guys to look at this logo that's on your screen right now and take a picture of it, take a mental picture of it with your head, and don't forget it because big things are coming to Lutisha's dance company and we want you to be part of it. So please, like if you see this, make sure you share it, make sure you put it out there because as you can see, this is a project of love. This is a project of passion. This is a project of coming from someone who dance saved their life, and this could help save you or your kid's life as well. Not maybe literally save it, but take it in a different direction to where they can then discover this passion within them. So please support this great business. This podcast, I started doing it 5 years ago because I wanted to highlight entrepreneurs in Connecticut because I think that being an entrepreneur is something that's really is really put on a pedestal in this day and age, right? Everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, but most people don't know what it takes to be an entrepreneur. Most people don't know the work that goes behind it and the troubles that come behind it and the headaches, right? Because even though it's your passion and your purpose, there's headaches. Like right now, I have a headache because I have two lights up here, another light down here. I got this hat on. It's giving me this shadow on my eyes. I want to take the hat off so you can see my eyes, but I want the hat on so you can see the logo. And this is a headache, right? And this is all part of entrepreneurship. And so, Luthi, before we get off, what advice can you give any future entrepreneurs who may be watching this podcast right now?
Don't stop dreaming. And when you are doubting yourself, that's when you really have to hit the gas. You're going to doubt yourself on a day to day. But if you have an inkling, if something is continuously bugging you, if you try to run away from that dream, but something keeps tugging you towards it, that is your purpose. Do it.
Love it. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. Um, what what is something that you can talk about, coming in? Maybe it was the LLC process. Maybe it was, I don't know, whatever. I don't want to give you any ideas, but what was something that coming into and becoming an entrepreneur? What was something that you kind of tripped on that you could maybe kind of give that advice of like, hey, don't trip on this. Like, it's not that serious. Whatever.
Um, you know what? I can honestly tell you that in the dance scene, just like any other scene, you're going to have people talk. And
Mm,
not everyone will support you. Even being a friend, not everyone will support you, and that's okay.
love it, and that's okay.
And that's okay.
To expand on that a little bit, I will say this, um, kind of like the other side of that, you know, if someone isn't supporting you, um, sometimes it may be a good idea to look within, right? Take a step out and look in, because often we're putting out, and we don't realize how people are taking what we're putting out, right? And so
Mhm.
sometimes we have to come out of ourselves and look at ourselves from the outside in to
Right.
understand what it is, right? Because the customer is always right, right? And because the customer is always right, you have to make yourself the customer to see what you're putting out, to see if maybe there's something that you can change in your delivery, or in how you're handling things that perhaps can help, because that person that maybe isn't supporting you maybe then will support you. And so with that, I will also say this: if someone doesn't support you today, but tomorrow they support you, that's okay too.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's okay too. Welcome them in as soon as they're ready to support you. Don't be like, oh, you didn't like me yesterday. No, no, no. It's okay. Maybe they were going through something and they
Listen,
couldn't support you.
in life, a lot of times you have to prove yourself.
Hmm.
And I can say I've lived that many, many, many times. So that's why now, right now, the mature me can say, you know what, it's okay, right? Not everyone has to believe in your dream. Not
Hmm.
everyone has to love what you love. Not everyone has to agree with what you believe is correct or whatever it may be.
No, of course.
But don't stop believing in you because someone doesn't believe in you.
Where did your courage come from? Where did this courage of just like, yo, because you're like you are yourself, ¿cómo se dice? There's a word, unapologetically,
Oh,
unapologetically. I don't know. You know what that word is. You
listen,
are you are yourself, and you're not afraid of putting yourself and who you are out there. You're not afraid of failing in front of people. You're not afraid of like pretty much showing like that didn't work, and you know where I'm going. That didn't work out, but this is gonna work out, and you're not afraid of putting that out there, and that's scary for people. Where did that courage come from?
you know, truth is I've had no choice,
Mm,
right? I've had no choice in many, many things that have happened to me. And I myself have still made it through, right? So, it comes a time where I would cry, I would get sad, and then I would still get through it. I would still do it. I would still be successful at what it was. So nowadays, I'm like, I don't I don't care. I don't care who believes in me. I don't care who doubts me. I don't care. And this is so true. You have to take two bags with you at all times, right? One to win, one to lose. Losing is not
mm.
fun, but losing is necessary, right? Because if all you know is winning, the day that it has to hit you that you have to take a loss, how are you growing there?
Mm-hmm.
because now you're full of anger. There's no growing, right? You got to start from scratch. You took all these wins and now you got to start from scratch. So I'm afraid to fail. Everyone's afraid to fail. No one wants to fail. But if I fail, I'm okay with that because I tried, right? I think the biggest failure here is a person who does not try, right? So yeah, like I really am unapologetically me.
I
And
love
I'm not
it.
afraid. I am not, no, absolutely not. I have nothing to lose and I have so much to gain. Either way, winning or failing.
David, a friend of mine, Dave. I don't know if you know David Fontanez, but David says the mindset of an entrepreneur goes against the current culture of society. Therefore, your circle of friends will upgrade. Some will stay, and some will gradually disappear. Thanks
I
for that
agree
comment,
with
David.
this statement 100%.
And my little sister Janice, she says failure is a part of winning.
It is. It
Most
is.
definitely, most definitely, guys. Listen, thank you so much for the comments. Thank you for the love. I've been posting these comments up. Thank you so much for all the love that you've been showing, Luthi, throughout this whole conversation. Um, it's definitely, your comments and your love throughout this whole podcast is it demonstrates the effect that Luthi has had in your life. And that's why this is so special for me to have this conversation, because all of these people that are still tuned in at 9 o'clock at night, an hour and a half later, are there because you have, in some way, shape, or form, impacted their life. And so, God, first of all, thank you guys for watching. But more importantly, Luthi, like what you set off to do with your business, you have already been doing for years, and this shows it. All these comments, all these people love it, all these hearts, all these
You guys are
words,
so sweet.
and
For real.
and it's real because they know, the real Luthi, the unapologetic Luthi, and that's a beautiful thing. I think most people can only hope that they had the love and support that you have, and for that, man, I'm super happy for you that you got this love and support, because it's a beautiful thing. It's definitely a beautiful thing. um let's see, a few more comments. Julie says she's impacting my daughter's life. Julie Figueroa. Um,
Michaela.
you go, Luthi. A lot of love, a lot of love. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, so we're gonna start wrapping up. Here. I know you gotta go to work tomorrow. You got that 9 to 5. You still gotta go to.
Yeah.
But before we wrap up, I got a few questions I want to ask you. Some little questions I like to ask my guests at the end of every show to get to know them on a different level. The first question is gonna be your favorite meal. I want to know your favorite meal.
Pizza.
Pizza? That's it?
Pizza.
All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Got you. I got you. No tenés que gritar. I got you. All right. So okay, so pizza. Now here's the thing. We're in Connecticut. New Haven is up the street. There's so many different pizza places. Wait, before you say anything, because you might get some people upset with this. I'm just letting you know. And by the way, I'm gonna take this clip, like this clip right here, is gonna be titled, Luthi's favorite pizza place, and then it's gonna be his own separate video, and you might get some hate mail. I'm letting you know right now. All right. So I need to know, where is Luthi's preferred pizza spot?
Captain's Pizza. They're no longer on Boston Ave because they
They're
closed
not.
down. But I drive all the way to Shelton
Okay.
almost weekly because their Shelton place is still open.
Wow. Okay. And is that oh my, Lou says pizza with the cheese falling off.
Ay, Dios mío, I want pizza now. Stop.
Oh man,
And
I
hot
love it.
sauce. I need buffalo sauce on my
Okay.
pizza.
On your pizza. Oh yeah, and I was gonna say, so what topping?
No, cheese with
Just cheese?
buffalo sauce.
Oh man, I love it. I love it. Okay, okay. So that's one question. Second question is, what is your song? Right? What's the song right now that's on repeat? Right? What's
Oh
the
my
song?
God. Let me
What?
tell you. Let me
Bueno,
tell you
espérate,
because
espérate, espérate.
today I've heard it like a
One
hundred times.
one song. Don't go crazy on
It's
me.
just one song. It's called Tattoo
Okay.
by, I think, Lauren. I, if you guys want to jam out and film me just for like 2 seconds, go listen to it. Go listen to it.
I'm gonna have Luti when we get done with this, go in the comments and tag, or not tag it, but put a link to the song so guys can
Okay.
hear the song. Okay. All right, so that's your song. And what's your favorite? I know we talked about this earlier, but what's your favorite genre of music to listen to?
Oh God, a lot of you guys are gonna kill me, but this is my truth. I love romantic Spanish music.
Okay. Oh, wait, like
Ana
boleros, like.
Gabriel, Cani
Okay.
Garcia, Elnita Nazario. I really am an old soul.
I
I
love
do
it. I
not
love it.
belong in this generation. I say it all the time.
I love it. I love it. I love it. You know what? The other day I was driving to go pick up my wife from work, and man, I got in my feels real quick, and some Shalisa. Oh my god, little oof,
I'm
my
telling you,
god. Un
throwbacks.
disco más. Oh my god, I'll be feeling like I can sing, and I can't sing, but let me tell you, I'll be feeling like I can sing.
I can
Um,
sing when nobody's around.
Luz, hold on, wait, where is it? Luz says, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. Luz is probably one of my most strongest and loyal supporters. Luz, thank you so much. I
Luce is
appreciate you
the
so much.
best. She honestly is. She's been supporting me for a long time too.
Yes,
Luce,
yes.
you're a real one.
She
We
is a
love
real one.
you.
She is a real one. And Julie said Micaela.
Michaela.
Oh, my bad. You know what? I was thinking. I'm so sorry. So that's her daughter's name. I was thinking about that salsa song.
Oh
Micaela.
yeah. Yeah.
So I thought that's
Yeah.
what you were talking about. I screwed that up. All right, never mind, never mind. Um, what do you call it? All right, so there you have it, people. Pizza from Captain's Pizza, in Shoughton, because I feel like there are two in Bridgeport and they're both gone now.
Yeah. So
Unfortunately,
if you
right?
guys want to go and you want to take me, I'm yours. I'm yours.
I love it. I love it. Luthi, listen, thank you so much for sharing your story. I really appreciate you sharing your journey with us, sharing some of those things that again most people won't want to talk about, but you shared it with us here openly, and I really do appreciate it. For those of you who are watching, who are still tuned in, 27 people still tuned in an hour and a half later, guys, thank you so much. If you're just tuning in, if you got here late, you can watch it from the beginning, or give me about a day, and it's gonna be up on YouTube. You can watch the whole thing there. Um, Thank you for your support. If you're on YouTube, please go down to the description and you'll find out how to get in contact with Luthi, how to get in contact with her school, how to get in contact. I mean, with her business, with the dance company, Lutisha's dance company. How to get in contact with the PRPSC. All that stuff will be down in the description. If you're listening to the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, wherever you're at, please go over and follow Luthi, her amazing journey. Are you still on TikTok or no? Come
I
on,
have
you're
a
killing me.
TikTok. I do not create
No
content
more.
anymore. No.
Oh,
I mean,
boo.
I wanted to get back
Boo.
in, but really it takes a lot of work. You need to not
Yeah.
have a 9 to 5.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I get it 100%. But in any event, listen, guys, please follow Luthi, her amazing experience. She's doing great things. I love her story. I know you guys love her story too. And our support, your support is gonna help her and her business grow. So please continue to support it. Please continue to share. Please continue to tell your friends about the amazing things that Luthi is doing at her dance studio, at her dance company. Um uh Chris. Oh, wait a second. Oh, wait a second. Christy, I love me some Christy. Great interviews. Yeah, oh my gosh, she's amazing. I love her. I haven't seen her in years. But Dito, I love her. I need to get her on here. Listen, Christy, hit me up, send me a message. I need to get you up here. We talked about it years ago. We even met to do an interview, but then things happen and it never happened. But let's make it happen. Um, Again, anybody, let's see, let's see. Ella es la mejor, mi nene. Okay. Yeah, okay. A lot of
That's
love here.
mi tía.
Yeah. Oh, look. We're making her blush. No, listen, you're no, she's amazing. All right, listen. We gotta go. Well, I don't really have to go. I could do this all night, but Luti has to go. I need to do some things too. Luti, again, thank you so much for this. I really do appreciate you so much. Anything that I can do to help, ya tu sabes, you got my number, you got my you got all my info. Let me know what I can do to help. I would love to do a follow-up at the studio. I would love to come to the studio and do a follow-up there, and let people see, maybe get some footage of the studio and let them see
Yeah.
you in action. So we'll do a follow up. You let me know, Luthi, what your schedule is, and we'll do it as soon as you want. I would love to do a follow up so people can see what's going on over there, see what's actually happening. Right. Again, thank you so much. Um, Luthi, do you have any final words before we go?
No, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to just listen to my little story. But I hope that it impacted you even in the slightest way. And guys, I just want to say if you have a child who has any interest, any little bit of interest, just write me. Right. So I don't want anything to stop you. I don't want money to stop you. I don't want it. Write me, okay? Um Again, you can follow the studio is Lutisha's Dance Company on Instagram, or you can follow my page and just DM me from there. Also, Eddie's gonna leave all the information as well. So please, please, please write me, hit me up. I want your child to dance for me. I want your child to have a new experience. Um, yeah, I think that this year is going to be an incredible year. I have so many things happening, and I want you guys to be a part of it.
Amazing, Luthi. Thank you so much, Luthi. Listen, I'm gonna take you off the screen here, but don't go nowhere. I want to be able to talk to you for a few seconds before we get off.
Okay.
Let me just finish the show with this amazing crowd, and I'll be right back to you. Okay.
You got it.
All righty. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in today to Transcendent Outlook podcast, specifically to the Entrepreneurs of Connecticut podcast. Again, I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you so much. If you haven't done so already, please go over to youtube.com/Eddie_Transcendent. Please go over there and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube page. If you got here late, please make sure that you go over to YouTube. I think by tomorrow I should be up there so you can watch the whole interview. It'll also be available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all the other places. Thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate you. Without you, none of this is possible. And so I appreciate all of your support. That's it. Se acabó. It's been an hour and a half. Guys, I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. And please don't forget, be transcendent.